Well, we're in the village of Harleston, and we've been looking for the Church of St. Augustine, and it took a little bit to of looking around to find it, but then we found these gates here, this hidden in between a hedge, opening in the hedge on the country lane, and we've come through, and we've got a lovely setting inside here. Now, we haven't yet seen the church, but the church must be at the end of this lane. So I think we'll drive up to the end and see if we can find this church. But it's certainly lovely here. Beautiful. So we came up this beautiful driveway, through the gates and up the driveway, through and past all these wonderful trees, and we find the church. Absolutely fabulous. Look at that. And what a setting. So we'll go in and have a look at this church. The first thing we see on our left here is this beautiful Georgian-looking light. Now, before we look at the church, our attention's really drawn immediately to this beautiful white cross, this headstone set against this fabulous blue sky, and where the trees have been cut on the edge of the churchyard, this is now open to the Suffolk countryside. Absolutely beautiful. What a beautiful sight. And there's the Suffolk countryside. There's this church. So when we come in down this gravel path, we're greeted with this beautiful church, which I'm certain is not as old as it possibly looks. And there we get a good view of this thatched roof on this church. I'm certain this is a Victorian church, possibly on the site of what already was a church. But it's very odd, this churchyard, because it's so neat and tidy, and most of the headstones are new or recent. There's very few old headstones about. And all the trees on the boundary have been cut. They must have had a good reason for this. Now we're standing over here, and actually I'm lost for words because the church is just absolutely beautiful. It's set against that blue sky. All the flint work and windows are in such good condition. The thatch roof is perfect. The setting is too good to be true. I have to just look around. Well, this is the view from the rear of the church, and we can see the countryside, which probably hasn't changed for many a year, except the wind turbine, but we'll forgive that. And then when we come back in here, into the churchyard, past a little shed, we can see this beautiful church again. Actually, there are some older headstones here, and some of them date back to the 16th century. And we're just under the shelter or the shade of this tree. Have a look at the altar end of the church with its very large window, beautiful flint facade, and the little buttresses, 4 of them. We've got 2 benches. Just so wonderful. We've just been lucky with a glorious day. I keep looking around. The scenery is just wonderful. So on this side of the church, we get a good view again of the tower and that rear end facade with the beautiful flint work and a very impressive stained glass window in there. But not many windows there on this side, just one slit. Possibly this could be the side of the church, which gives an indication that there was an older building here, an older church, maybe, because all this flint work looks older and patched up, whereas the other side with the entrance certainly looks fairly new. This is definitely a mixture of old repair work, and doors there look as if it had been filled in. There was a door there once. So I guess this was an older building that's had that 3 sides of it at least made to look much grander and in keeping with a Victorian idea of what churches were. I think we'll have a look inside. Well, this is the main entrance with light above, and there's no porch. We just go straight into the church. If we can open the door, yes. Oh, what a lovely little church. And this is the end of the church underneath the tower. Got the font here covered up. Some more modern details there. Oh, it's wonderful. Look at this. Some beautiful pews and that red and black tiled floor. A sort of grandeur of a church in miniature. And a screen with a lovely cross on top. And all the walls are painted in a beautiful soft cream. It's all very small here and very tight, this church. Got the pulpit here in this corner. Oh, lovely flowers on the window ledge there. When we step up into this area, look at this. Some memorials on the wall there. The end window is plain glass. We come round here. There again, more flowers, and that's just gorgeous. Look at those flowers. Somebody's been busy here. Another plain glass window. Delightful candles, look in this, the glass tubes here. What a lovely church. So unusual because it's so small and yet it's so grand, but it gets away with it, it just looks right. And all this wood is so dark, which frankly is more in keeping with these churches and some of the light wood, the more modern wood that's been used in more recent times. This all looks fairly old, probably Georgian, I guess. The beam going across, and that little round window, which is at the bottom of where the little tower is. Very intimate church, but obviously well loved, it's well kept. There's certainly all the little flowers everywhere. Isn't that lovely? You can't fail to be impressed and moved by this church, really. Just take one last reflection really on this church. Very impressive, very impressive. A real credit again to the people who are caring for it. Let's hope it stays like this for many years to come. So as we walk away from this church, we'll just, I think, have one last look. And it's like something out of a movie, really. It's so sweet and charming, really, really charming church. But I think it tells a story that the couple of sides of it are almost new, and one side at the back has been left with the old flint work. But a lovely church. There's nothing you could say wrong about it. It's just fabulous.